recording. Good morning, Bryce.
G'day, how you going, Calvin?
Yeah, good. How are you doing during a stage 3 lockdown, I think, in your area?
Yeah, mate, pretty quiet. Been pretty quiet this week. Luckily, It's been raining, so I wouldn't have been doing too much work anyway. So, it hasn't affected us too much. But yeah, crazy times, mate. Crazy times.
Yeah, I think like a lot of full driver. I mean, now it's probably a good time to upgrade your vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. There's always plenty to do.
Exactly.
Plenty going on.
Yeah. Look at your truck behind; it's so clean.
Yeah, not too bad.
That'll be great later on. Yeah, if you can walk through your vehicle and just tell us what you've done. Looks pretty awesome, especially the front bar. Like, looks pretty.
Nah, it does the trick. It's my weapon of choice at the moment. So yeah, pretty happy with it.
Yeah. So Bryce, I think it's good that you can spend some time with us today. And so I guess, I mean, like many interviews I had with other full driver, like tell us like how you got into full driving. Like obviously full driving is not a cheap hobby. So how did you get into full driving, and when was it?
Well, I suppose, mate, to start with, it's been basically my blood. as a young kid, we just went full driving every weekend. It's, from very early age, Dad owning quite a few four-wheel drives. I've always had the interest in four-wheel drives.
Yep.
Whether it's four-wheel drives or cars, I'm just a typical Aussie bogan, I suppose.
Nice. So what four-wheel drive did you have before? Like, what was your first four-wheel drive?
My first one was a Hilux, actually, a single cab. I think it was a 2.4 diesel, non-turbo. Saw it on the side of the road, and I thought that would put the motorbike on the back. And unfortunately, it was a piece of garbage, full of rust, and it was gutless. That didn't actually last too long.
Yep.
I got rid of that pretty quick. I think within about 2 months. And then. So that was sort of, like I say, about my mid-20s. And then there was a couple of years I went without. It was quite a hard decision, actually. Like, I've always found it pretty hard to ponder. And I mean, this could go on for a year or so until I can sort of find out what I wanted. Dad had the Hilux, and then he had an 80 series. So then I was always pretty keen on the 80 series and Hilux, Land Cruisers. But yeah, as I had a bit of a racing background as well, and I'm heavily into cars. So jumping back into a four-wheel drive sometimes, just the handling for me, it had to handle, pretty good on the road as well. Yeah. So one day actually, I came across a black WJ Jeep. Yeah. I think it was a 2000 model. V8.
Yep.
And obviously for an open diff vehicle, that thing, the minute I drove it, I thought, awesome. So I didn't actually pay too much for that. I think I paid about $6,000 for that at the time. And so we started doing a bit of high country stuff. Yep. Just bare stock standard. Mm-hmm. I know the area pretty well up around Aberfeldy, and we used to have a holiday house actually at Aberfeldy, and at the moment we've got access to a place at Matlock, which we look after and sort of caretakers for at the moment. We know that area quite well. Yeah. But then we actually did a stint to WA for about three and a half years. So the Jeep really served its purpose over there. We did lots of beach driving. Yep. But there was never a place for the motorbike, I suppose, and with the V8, quite thirsty, very, very thirsty actually. Good night. And because it was a pretty yeah, it was, used to get a few comments actually on it. But yeah, obviously when we went to WA, we started getting hung up on a few things. So I put some $50, I think, $150, 50 mil suspension blocks.
Yep.
Raised it up, got the grinder out, banged some 33 bighorns under it, and we started going places. It's just, it was unreal, that thing. It just, yeah, being an auto as well, it was just but just very, very thirsty. So, and loading it all up with all the gear and what, just found we needed something bigger. I actually ended up owning that car for roughly 8 years. So it definitely served its purpose. So for, I think, $6,000, whatever I paid for it, for 8 years of driving, I didn't really spend too much money on it. So it served its purpose well.
Yeah.
Moving on, I suppose, to, we actually came back to Victoria.
Yep.
Started doing a little bit up to Matlock, but I found that with work being a chippy, it was time to probably upgrade to a ute.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, that's when I probably pondered for another year on what to buy.
Yep.
And then the Ranger came up.
Yep.
PX Ranger. So that went straight to ARB and got basically everything put on it.
Yep.
In the meantime, we had another kid. So yeah, that for me, working with the kids, touring, towing, whether it was motorbike trailer or camper trailer or my tool trailer, you know, it was just a good all-rounder. So a bit of a no-brainer there. But being a diesel, that was my first, well, apart from the Hilux, which I didn't own for very long, but yeah, that was my first introduction to a diesel. Yeah. So that's a manual as well.
Yeah.
So I pretty much got tuned up straight away. It's got making good power.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously with the crew I started sort of fall driving with.
Yep. Yeah.
They're sort of, you know, getting into the tough technical stuff, and I found that I couldn't say no, but there was a lot of times, unfortunately, I couldn't make it to work on the Monday because of breakers, and unfortunately I got let down quite a bit, and I poured a lot of money into it. So it was quite it was starting to hurt me a little bit. So obviously, so that was a good couple of years worth, and we've done a good couple of touring trips, and you know, there's still plenty more to come in 2021. But that sort of brought me to this beast. Like I said, I was always looking at 80 series patrols. You know, I was pretty easy. I know that they're pretty tough. Being a V8 man, and I've always had V8s and pretty big cars. Yeah, thinking about building my own GQ. Yeah, it was obviously starting. The costs were mounting up.
Yep.
So, you know, I started just having a look around. Well, within a couple of weeks, this one came up.
Yep.
In Newcastle. So jumped on the plane and drove up there. I flew up there, and drove it home.
Yep.
And it's been obviously a bit rough when I got it, but for the amount of trips, it's got to be reliable. Yeah. So been a year process in just fixing bits and pieces up.
Now that was great. Great to know all your 4-wheel drive, sort of how you got started in your journey, and I think probably resonate to a lot of 4-wheel drivers. Listening this interview, a lot of people probably start out with a very crappy 4-wheel drive, sort of got to learn it, and then appreciate the live axle, the old truck, how simple to work on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Choice.
So absolutely.
Also noticed that you sort of start filming quite a lot of your trips now. Which
is
I've been following some of your clips on your channel, especially one of the clips. I think one of the trips you went with the other guy to Ellis Track, and then
young Jack.
Tell us.
Well, I suppose Calvin, the filming side of things came from actually the 4-wheel drive trip. 4WDTRIP.com side of things, I used to do a fair bit locally and on my own. But, you know, obviously when you're on your own, it's hard to film.
Yep.
So it wasn't actually until I just went through a very lull patch.
Yeah.
No one to go for driving with. None of my mates were into it.
Yep.
So I found, you know, a couple of 4WDTRIP.com trips, which I joined.
Yep.
Around the area actually that I'm pretty familiar with. But I just found it was just great to go and do those tracks, you know, and meet people, like-minded people along the way. So that's when the filming started. It was just another aspect that, we're doing some pretty cool stuff. So I thought, you know, it's worth filming and something good to look back on down the track.
That's awesome. I think like I love to see some of your videos, like stuff like it mix between different sort of technical driving, and then you have some of the high country sort of touring.
Well, it's good to have a bit of variety, I suppose. I suppose being a viewer, if you're doing the same stuff all the time, it probably gets a bit boring. So, you know, lot more trips getting planned for obviously 2021. Hopefully my filming and editing can get a little bit better. I suppose I'm going to take a bit of this quiet time to.
You will have.
You know, and I enjoy doing it, so I can only progress and get better, hopefully. And then obviously with all the trips coming up, obviously through 4WDTRIP, the platform which I'll be using. Proud ambassador now for 4WDTRIP. So I think it's a fantastic platform. I've really had some awesome trips and, you know, met some great people along the way. So so plenty more film trips, and it'd be good to just mix it up, I think. And, you know, every trip there'll be something different vehicles, different setups. You know,
No, that's great. Appreciate that, right? And I think I sort of resonate to what you said before. I think it's great to go out with a few other cars. Every now and then there's different vehicles. And funny, I mean, that like when you start leading a lot of trips like myself, and what I find is you notice that a lot of video become like you filming for somebody else, not your vehicle, because you're always at the front. And
exactly.
So I think certainly I definitely want to join one of your filming trips and sort of help you film your vehicles as well. Like so I think what we I think the other thing with 4WDTRIP.com is we can also have your own sort of like brand channel as well. Like we want to do that as well, so people can follow what trips you've done, what trips are coming up as well, like something that we can follow on. Hey, so I noticed that one of your last
that's
videos,
right.
Your missus, like she behind the wheel, like looks like she's pretty keen on trail driving as well.
Look, she's a bit of a pocket rocket. She'll have a crack at anything actually. So she. Awesome. The minute I drove it into the driveway. Actually, she was straight in it and up the road.
Wow.
So she enjoys it. Not so much the extreme stuff.
Right.
But she loves her V8s and
Yep.
She's just as big a bogan as what I am in that sense. But look, I mean.
Hey, also I noticed that you running 37. Like, so have you ever run like 35 or smaller?
Yeah, actually, I do have it. The car came with a set of Toyo 35s, open country. They're down sort of probably 30% now. So the best of them's gone. I had a few little moments in the wet on the road. Probably 37's my choice for this setup. It's got 4.6 gears in it, so it's definitely geared up for 37s.
Yep.
So my next set will probably be a set of Maxxis Razors.
Yep.
Hopefully, coming up to summer, I don't want traps everywhere. But love the traps, love the 37s.
So you definitely
more people run 37s. So the more we can get away with it. So
I remember like 10 years ago, like people like start running on 35, and you look at it like, wow, that's pretty good tires, big tires, and now everybody running on 37.
Look, it's got about 5 inches of lift under it, so 35s do get a bit lost in there.
Yeah.
Definitely set up for 37s.
Yeah. Yeah, and the type of driving you do, like you do need 37, isn't it? Like some of the tracks I've seen, like
Yeah, well, like you said, that Alice track. It's possible to do it on 35s in wet conditions, but yeah, I mean, it's a big difference between 37s and 35s when you're on a track like that.
cool.
Yeah, the traps definitely came into their own.
Yeah. Hey, tell us, like, have you had any? Hey, Bryce, can you tell us, like, have you had any holy shit moment, like?
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I've had a couple of them.
yeah.
Well, actually, this one in Tassie, fully loaded up, all the gear. We pulled into a beach, and yeah, I just got a bit carried away and sort of swung half a donut, and all of a sudden, I was looking at the ground through my partner's window.
Yeah.
Very, very, very close to going over. Obviously, just wasn't expecting that at all. So yeah, it picked up and nearly on our lid. But so yeah, I mean, it was just a bit silly on my behalf, but that was sort of out in the middle of absolutely nowhere. That could have ruined our 10-day trip in Tassie, but yeah, lucky to get out of that one.
What car was it?
That was the Ranger, actually. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's scary. I think it certainly feels that slow motion, isn't it? When you
exactly, yeah. Lucky we were still moving a little bit, and I sort of turned into it, and it boom came back down onto all fours.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I've probably had more scarier moments in the Ranger than I have in the patrol.
Yeah. Right.
Just because it's more capable.
Yep.
There's been a few hairy moments. Weber Spur was one of them, coming down Weber Spur in the Ranger. Gets pretty hairy in the IFS, and you really got to pick your lines. So I lost a few litres of sweat coming down that one, but trying to obviously play it cool with the missus in the car and the kids in the back and whatnot. So, it's just, but that's what we do.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I think you can tell, like, your patrol, like, you got all the bar work around the side. Like, definitely tell us a bit more later. Like, looks.
Well, there's a bit more to come, actually. So we're just
awesome.
I can't. It's hard to decide, though. There's so much good stuff going around at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
hey, one question I always want to find out from other full driver, like, because every time when I drive past a full drive, like oncoming, a lot of time they sort of like the driver wave to you, right? Like, do you do that a lot?
Yeah, and that never happened in the Ranger. And the minute I picked that thing up, coming through or coming out of Newcastle and going through out the back of Sydney, and mind you, this was at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, right.
Pulling up at servos and plenty of servo stops. But yeah, just constantly, just people, waving out the window, and it had about 7 inches of lift then, so it looked like a monster truck coming down the road. But from that day, you just full respect. Actually, you don't realise people still love a GQ.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, similarly, sometimes I came across occasion like this, and my wife was, and always looking at, hey, Kevin, what are you looking at? Like, I said, no, I'm looking at car. Like, it's funny. Yeah, a lot of
that's right.
They wave to you, and really good gesture, I guess. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So hey,
so you'll always see a GQ coming towards you. They definitely stand out and square body.
Yeah. Hey, the other thing I want to ask you is, what is your next upgrade potentially? I think you mentioned about tires. What is the next big upgrade?
Tires not really an upgrade. That's just to keep you rolling, I suppose. So look, I've got the back out of this one at the moment.
Yep.
I'm looking to get some rear drawers. I've just been running a little Waco fridge, but I've actually got a good ARB, one that I usually run in the Ranger, but I want to swap that over to the GQ for get it ready for summer and whatnot. So so rear drawers, get a good rear drawer set up for that.
Yep.
Just to make it a bit easier. It's been a bit of a nightmare. Just getting things a bit more organised.
Yep.
Obviously, getting into the more technical stuff, a high mount.
Yep.
And the razor tyres. That's what's going to happen to the GQ hopefully this year.
Yeah.
The range is pretty set up. That's all good. That actually needs a new motor, unfortunately. So that'll be happening shortly. It's done a head gasket, so we're doing changeover in that, and then getting it ready for a couple of big touring trips next year that we've missed out on this year, unfortunately.
Yeah, true. Hey, so what's the most important factor for your purchase? Like, do you care much about the brand, or do you care mostly the cost? And so what's your...
Quality is key.
Yeah.
Hopefully you buy it once and you don't have to buy it again.
Yeah.
Like King Swag, for instance, I don't know, mates that have gone through three King Swags in 5 years. Like I got Darchie Swags. Or Crash. I think branding does make a bit of a difference, but you still got to look around. There's always new stuff coming out and whatnot. So really, quality for me.
Yeah, no, that's close. And so I know that like you are giving a travel buddy with helping.
Yep. So I'm lucky to have Coast to Coast as a sponsor. Jumped on board now. So hopefully. Well, there's already been good things come out of it.
That'd be great.
So we're giving away a travel buddy at the moment. So
I want that.
And we'll get to good accessories, but they are one of the best little accessories to have, I reckon. They just a great little unit. Jump on page, pretty easy to enter.
Yep.
All the details are on there, so that's getting around.
That's awesome. So Coast is a Ironman is in Ben's?
Yeah, so Coast is a total full drive equipment. They've got total in-house workshop. They're also Ironman, a dealer for Ironman. Give them a call if you need anything. Tell them I sent you, and you should. They'll definitely sort you out. So.
Oh, cool. Definitely check it out.
So they stand out. They've got the big Ironman sign out the front, so you can't miss them. Yeah,
no worries. Hey,
but obviously in these times as well with mail service or internet, give them a call and I'm sure they'll send you stuff out to you.
Yeah, definitely. I think there are a lot of local business. I mean, especially 4x4 specialists and workshop, like they just have to adapt the changes and jump online and ordering online order. Because that's
right.
The way to get the business going. I think quite a few businesses they've been investing in the online part of their core business, and obviously now it really pay off. Like they really got everything set up.
Yeah,
certainly. I mean, not too late to get it started now. Like because it's still like another 5 weeks to go.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. But it is a good time for building up your social media and everything else. So you just got to make use of it, and hopefully.
Yeah.
For Victorians, I suppose we just get over it this year, and we'll have a clean run at it next year.
Just hopefully we don't miss all the snow.
We're still getting snow in November last year, I think. So.
Oh, really?
So I think we had a fairly late dumping at the end of last year, but and then straight into the fires. But yeah, some good snow up there at the moment. It'd be nice to be up in Matlock.
Yeah, all right. Hey, last question I want to ask you, Bryce, is what is your suggestions and advice to people who are new to four-wheel driving? Like, they want to get into four-wheel driving, or they just bought a four-wheel drive. What would be advice?
Yeah, I reckon. Well, yeah, for me, it's always been vehicle choice, really.
Yep.
Yeah, just I suppose I've spent a lot of money on the Ranger, and I've never felt that I could always, do everything myself, servicing and working on it, or So for me, getting an older vehicle now just works better for me. I can service it. I do a lot of the work myself. And I sort of trust my own mechanical skills, I suppose. So go a bit more remote. The Ranger worries me a little bit. If something does go wrong, the newer vehicles worry me a little bit. So just keeping the cost down, really. You can have all the latest and greatest gear. But I found sort of taking a few steps back, going into and running accessories now and gear, I've taken a lot less gear. The enjoyment sort of come back a bit more. Not having all the latest and greatest and the newest four-wheel drive. That I think you can still go and have just as much fun, keeping the cost down. So don't do what I did. Really, don't go and spend.
No, that's a good advice, Bryce. I think I definitely. Oh, who's that? Yeah, definitely agree. I think. I think the new trucks are great, but it really depends on how often you go four-wheel driving, right? And what type of four-wheel driving you're into. Like if
exactly.
If you go like every weekend, like you do need a vehicle that you're gonna put 100% trust into it. Like you just don't want the chance that like things that like going wrong and you have no idea how to fix it or why it goes wrong, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We got
cut off before. So let's definitely want to jump on your vehicle and have a look. If you can take us through your vehicle, just go around it, and that'll be great.